In this video, I would like to warn all people who watch this to think twice before taking ciprofloxacin or other fluoroquinolone antibiotics. This can only be justified when it is a matter of life and death, and other antibiotics will not work on a certain bacteria. Fluoroquinolones can lead almost any person to long-term, disabling and sometimes irreversible health consequences, to multi-system syndromes and symptoms, and it doesn't matter at all whether a person took 1 pill or 100 pills in a high dose, or he took eye or ear drops with an antibiotic. Most likely the matter is in the set of detoxification gens. Apparently, some people are not able to metabolize and remove fluoroquinolones from the body, and this substance circulates in the body for weeks, months, or even years. What the bullshit are you talking about, you can say, because ear and eye drops cannot be systemically absorbed into the bloodstream, and in general, any medicine is excreted as soon as you stop taking it. Usually this is true, but in the case of fluoroquinolones everything is different. They were created in the likeness of chemotherapy drugs so that they could penetrate into any deep tissues of the body. Fluoroquinolones do this because of fluoride in their composition, which is itself considered a neurotoxin, and it is able to carry the medicine anywhere, be it the brain or subcutaneous tissue or the pancreas, anywhere. All this has been proven and described in scientific articles, and this is my bitter experience. When taking fluoroquinolones, side effects do not end when the drug is discontinued. They only begin when a person stops taking them. This happens to many. There are tens of thousands of victims of ciprofloxacin, levofloxacin, moxifloxacin, ofloxacin, and other analogs. There is a Reddit group with 5,500 people, several Facebook groups, 12 and 9,000 victims. And these are only the people who managed to connect their health problems with taking antibiotics. And how many more people have mystical symptoms for years and cannot find the cause of their condition? Yes, you heard right. All this can last for years. And what is most unusual, the symptoms may not begin immediately, but can be delayed for several months, which makes it very difficult for a person to connect their symptoms with taking fluoroquinolones. Also, the American Food and Drug Administration (FDA) has included fluoroquinolones in the black box warning category, which means that the consequences of taking them can be absolutely anything. In real life, people who have encountered the problem of fluoroquinolone toxicity can have 50 to 60 symptoms at the same time, with varying intensity and duration. Blood tests rarely show problems, which makes subsequent visits to doctors almost useless. Many doctors attribute this to psychiatric problems, but psychiatric drugs are unlikely to help. Damage from fluoroquinolones can be divided into 4 groups. First group are collagen problems, tendon problems. Second group, neurological problems, nerve damage. Third group, mitochondrial dysfunction and oxidative stress. And fourth group, central nervous system problems, GABA receptors and others. Today I want to talk about the fourth group of problems with central nervous system. My story is this. 16 months ago I put in ear drops ciprodex, ciprofloxacin with dexamethasone for ear pain. At the time I didn't know anything about the harm of antibiotics, and especially in the form of ear drops. Literally that same day I got a shin splint. The tendon on my lower leg became inflamed. I have never had this before. I attributed it to the long walks I had those days. The pain was quite strong and the tendon was very tense. I could not think of anything better than taking NSAIDs for several days to relieve the inflammation. Oh, what a big mistake I made due to ignorance. As I found later, ciprofloxacin in combination with steroids or NSAIDs increases the effect of ciprofloxacin tens of thousands times in a bad way. It turns out to be just an atomic bomb. There are also articles about this on the PubMed, NCBI and ResearchGate Med Libraries websites. My leg stopped creaking and hurting and recovered for 10 days. My ear did not hurt either, but I felt very strange since then. I was constantly anxious for no reason. About a month later, I developed tremors in my hands, which I had never had in my life. It was all very strange, but I attributed it to a period of stress. And then, 4 months later, after taking ear drops with ciprofloxacin, I started to have insomnia. I just woke up one night gasping for air, and since then I have not slept for a single minute or night without psychiatric pills. Yes, I had to go to a psychiatrist. He considered my condition to be depression and prescribed mirtazapine, which helped me sleep by about 50%. I must say that it did not affect my mood in any way. From the very beginning, I knew and felt that my insomnia and anxiety were organic, not psychological in nature. I felt poisoned by something. After some time, the psychiatrist prescribed me quetiapine on the days when mirtazapine did not cope. So that you understand how strong my insomnia is, I cannot sleep for a single minute. No daytime naps, nothing, zero sleep. No matter how many days I will go without sleep, my brain just don't induce sleep until it is stuffed with pills. In addition, I have many different daytime symptoms, about 30-40 symptoms that change in turn every few days, and so on in a circle. So I suffered for a year looking for the cause of my insomnia. I suspected mold and mycotoxins, but a urine test showed no mycotoxins. I also did a test for heavy metals, which was also negative. 4 months ago my ear hurt and I used ciprodex drops again. Since that day, my sleeping pills stopped working in the same dosages, and today I need 2 drugs at the same time in large dosages to sleep somehow. It's very light, half sleep, half awake sleep, with hundreds of awakenings. Once or twice in a month I have symptoms close to central sleep apnea, like my brain forgot how to breathe in the time when transition to sleep happened. I tried all the supplements and natural remedies, minerals, herbs, homeopathy that help healthy people sleep. I mean really everything, and in different combinations and doses. CBD, even weed, antihistamines also do not work for me. Ironically, my incident with eardrops, the fact that I used them for the second time 4 months ago, gave me the opportunity to connect ciprofloxacin with my insomnia, albeit the price is high. This gave me a direction to search. Another thing that really helped me was a post by a guy on Reddit who had SIBO, and he found his cause. It was also ciprofloxacin. Later, I found groups with victims on Facebook, found many people with the same severe insomnia as me. I found people whose insomnia went away over a period of 6 months to 3 years. I noticed a pattern that those who took a fluorchinolone with NSAIDs were almost guaranteed to get insomnia. I also noticed that many people recovered not by supplements or diets, but by time. Also, I noticed that insomnia from fluorquinolones is very resistant to classic insomnia medications. For example, Z drugs do not work for me at all, which indicates that the GABA system is not working properly. And in general, people with fluoroquinolone toxicity should avoid benzodiazepines, NSAIDs, steroids, coffee, fluoride. I've also seen a few stories of people who got sporadic fatal insomnia from ciprofloxacin. There's one on YouTube with a guy named Richard Saigan. In most cases, there is a chance to recover and return to natural sleep, although I feel the serious damage has been done to my brain. What is the mechanism of action of ciprofloxacin on the brain and insomnia? You can type in Google ciprofloxacin inhibits GABA-A receptors, and you will see scientific articles where this is clearly described. The neurotransmitter GABA is the most important calming inhibitory mediator in the brain. GABA gives us the ability to calm ourselves down under the stress, the ability to sleep, the ability to live. The neurotransmitter GABA must be in constant balance with excitatory mediator glutamate. What does ciprofloxacin do? It blocks the GABA-A receptor, and the neurotransmitter GABA can no longer bind to its receptor. As a result, a person cannot calm down. It becomes impossible, and glutamate comes into the picture, which excites our brain. There is so much glutamate that it begins to burn everything in the brain that comes on its way. This is called glutamate excitotoxicity. On the physical plane, a person experiences insomnia, anxiety, derealization, depersonalization, constant excitement, convulsions. How long can ciprofloxacin inhibit GABA-A receptors? It is unknown. It could be a week, months, or even a years. I have had insomnia for 13 months, and it began 4 months delayed after taking ciprodex air drops. I think if I had not used the drops a second time, I would have recovered already. And if I had not used NSAIDs during this period, then perhaps I would not have had insomnia. What can be done? Not much. There are protocols with basic recommendations: diet, no coffee, nicotine, alcohol, clean organic food, good water, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, sauna, infrared light. I am still looking for substances that can repair, cleanse, improve, enhance the functionality of my GABA-A receptors. Of the known substances, this is magnesium L-threonate. In theory, magnesium should chelate ciprofloxacin from the brain, but I do not feel it yet. But science says that this is so. I feel nothing from most of supplements, or even some supplements which have to calm down me work opposite. Also, perhaps substances such as palmitoylethanolamide or lithium can help. They are able to reduce neuroinflammation, improve receptor sensitivity, and they also increase the production of neurosteroids and neurogenesis. There is also information that the peptide BPC 157 is able to repair GABA receptors, but there are no scientific articles about this effect, only some evidence from people who used BPC for benzo withdrawal. And BPC has some dangers. The peptide can cause permanent anhedonia, which I don't need. Lithium is interesting for improving the functionality of GABA receptors, but it is toxic to the kidneys, and my kidneys are already working at the limit. They need to process 2 drugs every day that I take to at least somehow sleep. In general, palmitoylethanolamide or PEA, lithium and BPC are on my list of substances that I am going to test. As always, there are no easy solutions. I hope this video will be useful for you, and I wish you never encounter such problems. Write in the comments if you have questions, or if you have something to add, or if you disagree with the above. I also declare that everything said in this video is fiction and fantasy of the author and has nothing to do with reality. The author does not have a medical education and shares exclusively his experience without advising anything. Best wishes, be healthy.